I'm Cietta Gower, and in this section we are going to discuss things that need to be included in your application, such as project maps. A project location map must be included in your application. Your project should be drawn on this map and should provide sufficient detail for the review team to understand the project that you are proposing. Include the service area boundaries and essential components of your project. The review team should be able to visualize the project using the map and the project summary. You may also include extra blueprints or larger maps if necessary. Your application should include a FEMA-issued floodplain map. Your project must be drawn on this map and include the specific boundaries of the service area and essential components of the project. If you are conducting an income survey to determine 51% low to moderate income for a service area, an income survey map must be included in your application. This map must be large enough for the review team to clearly identify all of the households surveyed, as well as the no response units, the vacant units, and any non-residential buildings in your project's service area. On the income survey map, please use the key on this slide to identify the structures in your project service area. If there are multi-unit residential buildings in your project service area, identify the buildings and provide the number of units on the income survey map. These would be apartment complexes, townhomes, retirement units. Each unit is considered a household and should be counted in the total number of households on the income survey worksheet, unless they're vacant. Please remember that a multi-unit residential building includes units with independent kitchens. The number of households identified on the income survey map must account for and exactly match the following on the income survey worksheet: the total households in the project area, households surveyed, the higher income households, and the lower income households. If you have a residential facility in your project service area that has a shared kitchen and dining space, such as a nursing home or homeless shelter, you must identify this building on your income survey map. To keep from surveying the residence, you can include a letter from the facility administrator that indicates that the dwelling meets HUD's definition of a residential facility with shared kitchen and dining facilities. Make sure that the letter includes the number of residents that can be accommodated. On the income survey worksheet, the number of these residents should be added to the total on line 14. This will give you an estimate of the total number of LMI persons in your service area. Please make a note on the income survey worksheet that you added these residents to your calculated number. The engineer's cost estimate. The engineer's cost estimate is a fundamental part of the application and it must be included. It is very important that the document is complete, that it is not more than a year old, and that it contains all of the requested information. Make sure that the engineer's cost estimate is on the engineer company letterhead, that the engineer's name is on the document, and that it is dated. The estimate must have a detailed breakdown of the costs necessary to complete the project. It must match the costs listed on the CDBG Working Cost Estimate form. In your document, do not include costs for which CDBG funds are not used. For example, do not include construction engineering costs, which are not an eligible CDBG expense. Do not include miscellaneous, contingency, or any other unallocated costs. A complete engineer's cost estimate is such a vital piece to the application that an application will be designated Do Not Fund and the rest of the application will not be reviewed if you fail to include the engineer cost estimate, if it is not on company letterhead, if the engineer's name is not on the document, and if it is not dated, if the costs are not sufficiently broken down, or if it contains grossly inflated costs. Fair housing resolution. The Department of Housing and Urban Development is the funding source for the Community Development Block Grant Program. All CDBG grantees are required to administer their project in a manner that affirmatively furthers equal opportunity and fair housing. Applicants are required to provide a copy of their fair housing resolution or ordinance with their application. Applicants are required to post fair housing posters and make HUD fair housing complaint forms available to the public. Thank you.